thanks everybody for joining us on Facebook Live. My name is Madison Pierman with Wavy News 10. I am here today with Josh Gray. He is the Operations Supervisor here at Dominion Energy ahead of the big storm. Josh, how long have you been with Dominion, and what do you really do in your job?
So I've been with Dominion 18 years, and currently I'm an Operations Supervisor for the Kitty Hawk District. So in my role, I'm responsible for making sure the lights stay on and making sure we get them back on safely and efficiently.
Definitely a big job there. Not busy at all, right? I mean, keeping the power on for people here at home on Kitty Hawk and really a lot of North Carolina. We do have the storm that's coming in. I've been seeing trucks kind of going in and out all day. Can you tell me what you guys are really doing to just prepare for kind of a wintry mix that we're expecting?
Yes, we are getting our crews prepared. Our trucks and vehicles, we're stocking those with material. And as you can see behind me, we talk about material. You know, we talk about transformers, overhead transformers, and our underground transformers. You can see we are stocked. All of our local offices are fully stocked, and we are definitely prepared for the storm.
Yeah, and it definitely looks like it. You can't really see it, but there's a sea of transformers. I mean, probably over a few dozen here, which is great, you know. A little bit of comfort for people at home who might be worried about the power going out. What are some things that we see, especially specific to this region, that people may not be aware of as far as what to expect when winter weather comes in? I think a lot of people, you know, think, oh, road closures. Maybe they don't think about power outages that could possibly happen.
Right. Yeah. You know, during an ice storm or a snowstorm, like we're gonna that's gonna come to us in the next couple of days, you're gonna see a lot of down wires, and that's one of the most important things to stay away from. You know, stay 30 foot away, and you know, it's very important for every customer to call in 1-866-DOM-HELP or go on your app and report your outage. It's very important that everyone does that. That way we know that you are without power. So don't expect your neighbor to do it, because we don't know if you're out and your neighbor's called it in. So definitely report it, and it will definitely help speed up the process to get your power restored.
That's awesome. And that's one thing. Never assume. Always report. Call that number, 866-DOM-HELP. We were talking about the different ways that these power lines can be impacted by not just the snow, but the ice and the salt that comes off the water. Can you talk about the salt, how it impacts the power lines, and how that could even lead to something as big as a fire?
Yeah, so the salt is, especially down here in Kitty Hawk, is a very big deal. You know, the salt, it damages our equipment, and just over time it takes a toll on our equipment. You know, and we do maintenance on our equipment to keep everything going. But you talk about adding a lot of weight to these lines with the ice. You know, that can definitely impact us and cause a lot of outages.
Mm-hmm. And a big thing there is if you do see a down power line, tangled power line, you don't have power, there's a fire, anything of that nature, stay away from it and call the number that we've mentioned a couple times. And we'll say it again, don't worry, because you know people got to get the pen, paper, the notes app open, all that good stuff. On top of that, there are some instances where, I mean, really specific to your crews, where they have to work on the beach to be able to help get some of these power lines up. What are some complications that you guys might run into with this kind of environment?
Yeah, so you know, when you talk about us going out on the beach, you know, we deal with the tide. So tide coming in, it's hard for us to get up on the beach when the tide's coming in, but we do. We're able to get up there to our customers and get the lights on. So yeah, we do a lot of driving out on the beach during the storm, and you know, sometimes it's a struggle. It is, you know, to do that, but our crews here are all trained and all prepared for that. Mm-hmm. So
definitely reassuring to a lot of people. A lot of people may not have work tomorrow. I know a lot of the schools are already going to be out, but no matter the weather, especially when there's bad weather, you guys are still out there making sure to get the job done, keep the lights on for people. If somebody's power does go out, it's taking a little longer for it to get fixed. What do you hope the people sitting at home understand what you guys are going through, as far as, you know, you are driven to get this done, and you are driven to help them and make sure that they can get the power back on?
Yeah, I just ask everybody to be patient. You know, we are doing our best. I promise you we will get out there, and we go 100% trying to make sure we get all the power restored. And sometimes when we have big events like this, it can lead to multiple days. So, you know, be prepared. You know, have your family prepared. Make sure you got batteries, flashlights, water. You know, the stuff that we talk about a lot, but sometimes just kind of take it for granted. So just be prepared. And you know, I say, you mentioned school's out, so kids are going to be out playing. So, you know, make sure they stay away from the down lines as well. If you see something down, make sure they're not out playing around it. And we ask everybody, the public, to stay back 30 feet away from the lines.
Right, especially have those conversations with kids, because you know you can talk to them as you're leaving out the front door, but if they see it, it's a whole different kind of enticement. So just be sure to have those conversations of safety, especially with kids. I know this is kind of branching out a little bit, but you know, you've been in the industry for quite some time. Some people might be looking at today thinking, oh, today's a good day to go get a generator, not knowing anything about a generator. Is there anything you can touch on as far as safety goes if someone does decide to go out and buy a generator from, you know, Walmart, Home Depot, wherever it may be, and just kind of break it down a little bit as far as like what you guys look for is making sure people are being safe with those kinds of tools?
Yes, generators are definitely a good thing to help, you know, get your lights on, you know, keep your refrigerator running. But generators got a lot of hazards too. You know, you got to make sure you got that thing outside. You don't put it in your garage and let it run. Make sure it's outside, away from the house. But also, if you're going to hook that up to your house, make sure you call an electrician to make sure it is hooked up properly, because it can backfeed through our lines, causing a big hazard for our guys out in the field, but also as well as the public. The public not knowing that line's energized and them getting close to it, you know, and that being backfed from a generator can definitely cause a lot of issues. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Something to be mindful of. Is there anything you wanted to touch on? Anything I'm maybe not asking that you're like, okay, people are watching right now and I want them to know this?
Look, our crews are going to be out there. We'll be at it 100% trying to get your lights on. Please be patient with us. You know, we will have to deal with the hazards of driving, getting around to and from job sites. You may see some of our guys sitting in the truck and you're thinking, oh, they're not doing nothing. They are. I can promise you they're getting directions. They're doing their safety briefings, getting ready to prep for a job. So I promise you, we are out and about, and we will get your lights back on.
Absolutely. I can tell you that with much certainty. It's very busy here at the Kitty Hawk Operations Field for Dominion Energy right now. And a huge thing to remember, these are people too. They're leaving their families to make sure your family has power during this storm. And I'm sure, you know, they probably want to be home with their families as well. But they're here. They're trying to do a good job for you. So just be patient and be mindful of that as these people are out on the roads. And stay off the roads so that if they need to be out there, they're not having to compete with you, because where they're going might be a little bit more important depending on where you're headed. On top of it all, remember that number. Call 866 if your power does go out. Don't assume that your neighbor did it, your grandma did it for you. Double check. You can also go online. You guys have a lot of great features as far as checking outages. They also do updated repair status, which is really nice. You know, it'll tell you if a crew is already on scene. So that's definitely a good resource to have as well. And as always, we've got this information over on wavy.com. If you're on Facebook, you just click over to the next tab, right? You know how to do it. Is there anything else you wanted to add, Josh?
No, I'm good. Thank you very much.
Awesome, of course. Well, thank you for joining us, and thanks for joining us here on Facebook Live. We're going to have more information, a little bit more on the operations that they do here from the field office in Kitty Hawk, and it's really hyper-specific here to North Carolina, but there's also some good tidbits for people up in Hampton Roads, Eastern Shore, Peninsula, and so we'll be sure to give you those as well. We'll be live on Wavy at 4, 5, and 6 with all of those details, so be sure to join us. But for now, that's the latest here in Kitty Hawk, and we'll see you guys then.